Thank you for tuning into the Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Arael Marrocco. Peter is the director of the 12th Division of the ACIO, Advanced or Alien Contact Intelligence Organization. Jessica is a galactic liaison and interdimensional seer. Together, they will discuss the most current updates from the ACIO, Council of Five, and other extraterrestrial sources. Make sure to post your questions and comments below. Disclosures, insider intel that keeps you updated with planetary changes.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today on Disclosures. We're going to be talking about some more information regarding the ACIO and some of the organization. And Peter's going to give us some insight so that people can better understand how things are operating and how they are assisting the planet and also the galaxy, universe, however, the expanse of all of this. But without further delay, I'm going to bring in Peter the Insider.
So I want to say hello to you, Jessica, and to all of our regular, maybe not so regular listeners.
Okay, great, Peter. So I'm going to bring up the file that I was looking at, and maybe we can get that set up here. ACIO divisions. So here it says the ACIO has 612 active divisions. The ACIO currently has 612, but because of the specific circumstances as divisions were split and merged wherever necessary, they are numbered from 1 to 753. The first division is 0, is the ACIO's headquarters or Human Resources Department. And then here to the right, you see situated in Pine Gap, Central Australia. Yeah. It has multiple branches all around the world. The largest and most well-known of them are Area 51 Groom Lake in the U.S. and Yamantau, Aquino, and Beloretsk.
Aquino and Belresk, yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And the DUM, or a deep underground military base complex in Russia. So anything you want to say about that, Peter?
Yeah, this is very weird because some people don't believe that facilities similar to that can or might exist in former Eastern Bloc, or let's say former Soviet Union or whatever. Believe me, they were, respectively they are, and of course in Africa they are, but they are smaller, much smaller, and they don't have such a, let's say, strategic. They are not so strategic important, but most important are those three, as we are talking about them, or let's say as we were talking about them. Yeah.
So they are in other locations as well. It just you haven't included that.
Yes, but this is it. Let's say they are not that important, and they are much smaller, and they are mostly they have servers, computer servers, data centers, and whatever. Yeah, so they don't have labs included, I mean laboratories and whatever, because DUMB is like deep underground military base, and they, as I said, it's like data centers, servers, whatever, or classical, if you want to call it that way. That means analog, so normal archives. That means old school, if we can imagine it, like before computers or internet exists, right?
Yeah.
If you want to get certain piece of intel or information, you need to go physically there for it, to the library, and you need to go it. Maybe people will be like, how can I say it, shocked. What the heck are you talking about, Insider? It doesn't make any sense. Believe me, yeah, it is like that. Because once there are certain information, let's say key part of the puzzle, it's much safer to keep them printed, but not, let's say, not printed only, right? But to keep them printed as some sort of backup, right? Some
Yeah.
sort of backup.
Yeah.
So this is it. But still, they are part, or we can count them as a part of Division 0, aka main HQ. Yeah.
So I have two.
But one important information, some sort of correction. Division 0 HQ, it is not human resources. It is not like that. Human resources, it's pretty much very unclear what is and what isn't human resources within ACIO.
Are you saying that they're not human?
No, I'm saying not HR, let's say, within hiring people, new people. This is it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
let's say yes, Cicada 3301 or 01, it was their idea. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was the division I was in. I am in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have a question, and someone asked me this. Do majority of the ones that are running the ACIO, are they human, or are they extraterrestrial, or how is that working?
The key people, let's say, if we want to go, and that's the problem, that's another problem. We are talking about like key people, and some of them are not people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So okay, I got it. Intelligent beings, many of them are not human beings. I mean, human race or race ones. But the stuff is, it's like there is some derivation. Do you know what I mean? It's like, there were lizards, from lizards, there were birds. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Something like that. And pretty much humans, we as humans are clones of certain other ET, or let's say alien species. So it's good question, or let's say it is a very tough question to say if we should count them to ETs or aliens or not. I mean, ETs, like extraterrestrials, from this point of view, it is hard to say, because they are genetically not that far away from us. Do you know what I mean? This is the problem. It's like,
Yeah, no, I understand. Because in the history of the ACIO, they were here and existing before humans were here.
Exactly.
So, but are there humans also working within the ACIO?
Of course, Yes,
Okay.
that's true. That's true. But sometimes I don't like the particular ones. Sorry, I mean ETs. Literally, ETs and non-humans, like extraterrestrials and non-humans, they are too proud, and because of those kind of crazy deals they made, millions, and this is not because I am saying it, do you know what I mean? Because it is saying, or it is say so, but literally they were sealed millions and millions years ago, and they are uh, way too proud, and they are saying that we are primitive, and our um, way of behavior and the mindset, I mean, like overall, do you know what I mean? Like the mentality, you know, that it is like what they are calling it? Virus. That we are like a virus, like we are not good, and we are only for I mean that we are invasive, and we are only, once we will go to any other planet, we will only plunder the, do you know what I mean, like planet.
So we cause problems where we go because we're invasive humans.
Let's say, yes or no, and this is like, what the heck are
Their
you talking
perspective,
about?
we are.
This
Okay.
isn't like, it strongly depends which kind of individuals you will send there. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So then another question too is we're talking about different places on the planet where the the department zero department HQ exists. But what about off world? Do they have
Sorry, division, not department. Division. This is
division? Yeah. What about off world? Are they like on Mars, the moon, some other locations, other planets or moons that that
they are in within, in within or within our solar system. Yeah,
so
pretty
yeah,
much.
that means yes. So that they're on
Yes,
these other
yes,
locations. Can
yes.
you disclose what other locations they are, or is that something that's private still?
Pretty much. Let's say where they are not. They are pretty much everywhere. I mean, in our solar system. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's going on with the ACIO and other councils?
Yes, only one place, except some, of course.
Not in the sun. Okay.
Yeah,
But there's the civilizations in the sun, right?
multiple. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can confirm that. Yeah.
So essentially what people don't realize is we're organized. We have organizations, we have political parties, we have councils, we have governments, we have judicial systems. They were the ones that taught us that. We didn't initially have that. We
Pretty
learned
much
it.
none, like nothing, literally none. What we have right here, right now, is genuine, like original, and this is the main part of problem why everything is so messy on here on Earth, because we are something like big petri dish in a huge, let's say, chemical lab, and people, I mean, as more time goes, or let's say time flew, more and more people start to wake up. It's like, what in the world is going on? It doesn't make any sense. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's pretty much, I don't know, it's like, but at that time there were only newspapers, newspapers and radio. First World War, then Second World War, you know, then it was Korean War, Vietnam War, you know, and then, you know, it went after that, after Iron Curtain fell, internet goes on the scene, you know. I mean, of course not, but in late 90s, and then after that, 9/11 attacks started this, let's say, age of doubts. I don't want to say how it was or how it wasn't, but there are still doubts. And then like 7 or 8 years, 6 or 7 years after that, there was this financial economy crisis, and everything was different, and people was like, okay, what the heck is going on? This doesn't make any sense. And they started to get to search for truth, for real deal info. And that's it. When first alternative media went out on the internet. Do you know what I mean? Because yes, you, of course, even in 50s and 60s, you have or you had TV or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But still, there was only one, you know, one idea or one sort of ideas, and once they started these alternative medias, we can be happy about that or for that. And now people finally start to realize that something is not okay.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
But it took what? For what? Like 1 century, Jesus.
Yeah, took an awful long time but they were also inserting mind control, levels of mind control.
Yeah, that's
through the media. Yeah, and they knew how to do that. They were very
subliminal. Yes, yes, you said yes.
Which put everyone at a disadvantage. But you know, we're getting there. And you know, I used to look at the news, and then people, friends from overseas would say, you know, we heard about this or that in the United States. And I was like, I never heard about that. And so, you know, even though we didn't have alternative media years ago, I think it was the European community and other communities that were having more knowledge about the U.S. than the Americans did. And that's what kind of woke me up, and that happened years ago. And I started looking and saying, hey, maybe there's more to this. Why are we getting different news, and why do they know more about what's happening here? And why, you know, for me to say that that's not true, you know, I know that they would show me the articles, and it's very interesting. But yeah, I mean, we're learning to awaken and kind of break through some of this mind control, because that was another major problem with humanity. Humanity already had challenges, but then they were interfered with their own individual thinking.
Yeah, as you said. Because this is it. Subliminal perception, it's pretty much like, look, it's like why tube radios need to be went down from scene, because subliminal stuff, let's say they reached the limit from subliminal perception. Then okay, we have TV, it was new. But then, this is not good, not good. Yes, like 70, you are having 70-80% of information through, you are getting it through eyes, but still a lot of stuff, plenty of stuff you can go through your ears. So transistor radio go to the to was something new. It was brand new stuff, you know, in late 50s or maybe early 60s, and now they went to a whole new level. Digital TV, digital radio, you know, 4G, 5G cell phones. Do you know what I mean? Because they reached the limit. Once they reached the limit of technology, they immediately need to replace it. It is not because it is about enhancement technology. Nah, it is nonsense, absolute nonsense. Believe me, it is not about that.
I was just watching a video of this man because he was put into an insane asylum. I think this was after the French Revolution. Mm-hmm. And he was explaining how someone had made a device and they were sending him some type of mind control or mesmerizing information. And so instead of fully believing him, they put him in a nut house, you know, just said, you know, he's crazy. But he had such a detailed description of it. And that was like, what, 1700s?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. So
late 1700s, yeah.
Late 1700s, that they actually had a device then for projecting mind.
For me, it is not surprising.
Yeah.
No, it's not surprising. No.
No, and I don't know if that technology was brought back from the future and introduced there, or they just...
Yes, it is pretty much like, you know, Jules Verne, you know. Time traveler, you know, because a lot of people from France and just by the way, and Quebec, you know, like French Canadian region, they are respectively, they were time travelers. I'm just saying.
Are they still traveling now?
Oh, of course they are.
And then there was that John Titor too that came out, and some people questioned whether he was authentic or not.
He is.
Yeah. What's his story? What's his background?
It is still secret till today.
Okay. All right, well, maybe that's even another topic. We'll get back on topic, and I know we stray a little bit, but it's a lot of little extra little pieces of information for people that are very interested in some of these topics. So I'm going to go to the next slide. So this is the Division 0. And here we'll go like this. This is Division 1. So I'll read
60.
Yeah, it was Division 1 to 80. And then also you have a 1 to 93. That's if it was the 700 range before they broke down into other divisions. So the first group of divisions deals with gathering evidence and clarifying the role and purpose of the ACIO in present day and during different time periods in history. They were able to do this thanks to historical, geological, and archaeological research. It is important to note that throughout time, the purpose of the organization was very diverse because of the wide variation of ET races present on Earth, as well as the different cooperating relationships among races. In our current situation, we mostly deal with the Council 5 and the Intergalactic Council. So, yeah.
That's true.
Anything you want to say about the first division? And that includes the 12th.
Not first division. It is Division 1 to 80.
1 to 80, that's right. And this is our first group. This is the first group.
Yes.
So
this is the stuff like people, they are saying it's like it doesn't make any sense, you know. It's like they go They are getting, for example, people are getting, they are searching for dinosaurs, for example, right? Or for ancient huge tigers, for example, or blob, like those huge sharks. Do you know what I mean? They don't, they faded out in the history. Do you know what I mean? Everything. And of course, I mean, yes, of course they are, but they are searching for ETs. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. They are searching for ETs. That's it. because ETs were first here before any sort of living form, and it was like, okay, they seed of life here on earth. They were like, okay, what will happen if we will give this and that and then here and there, and our planet is managed, let's say, built, organized like that. Once something is too big, it will die. I mean, yes, of course, we have, you know, we have whale, for example, so it is huge. Of course, it is huge, so it makes like, what the heck is insider talking about? A whale is huge. Yes, of course, we have, I don't know, elephant, for example, it's huge too. But I mean, those prehistoric, ancient, huge, you know, living beings, they were absolutely enormous. Do you know what I mean? Enormous. Enormous.
I mean, the giants.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you could see even some of the trees were huge.
Yes.
Really, really huge. It was like the world was a different scale
Yes.
at one point. And then there's buildings, right, that display entryways.
For example, it is like five, 6 sequoias, national park in California, and those sequoias are in between 5 or 6,000 years old, and it's not, quotes in quotes, normal. Of course, it's not normal, but do you know what I'm trying to say? It's sorry, I'm laughing, but it is so ridiculous to even to, how can I say it, to imagine for living being, because like it or not, it is living, and this tree has some sort of energetic field, has some sort of
Yes.
you know, like memory or whatever, and he's, or it is, or she is, I don't know, thinking and remembering. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for example, people are like, hey, insider, you are saying nonsense. No, believe me. For example, he or she is in California, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for example, once there was this huge explosion in Krakatoa in 1880s, he know, respectively he knew. He immediately knew, because there was this, quotes in quotes, you know, winter. I mean, the sky was dark, the temperature went lower, and everything. Do you know what I mean? Or for example, when there was I don't know, like atomic tests in Cold War, or Chernobyl or Fukushima, you know, disasters, or I don't know how can I say it, accidents. No, it's not true. that it was local. It's no, it's not true. The radiation was all over the globe, all over the place. And this tree, the particular one, he or she, because it's, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once it is not he or she, there will be no possible to see and see another see. Do you know what I mean? And he or she immediately gets it. Okay, something is wrong in this particular part of the time. And do you know what? If you will get some sort of some part, if you will make it, and if you will see, okay, there are some abnormalities. Do you know what I'm trying to say? You will see something is wrong. What is wrong, or what was wrong in those years? Do you know what I mean? And this is it. Nature is is perfect. Nature is perfect, and we are dumping the nature. We are dumping the nature. We are idiots. Sorry for that, but we are. And this is it. From this point of view, I am not saying that I am agreeing with those stupid-ish proud ETs that they are saying that we are behaving like viruses. But in certain occasions, not us as a whole race, as a civilization, but certain people are very selfish. And I am not sorry for my language, or I will be not watching my language. This is pissing me off. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Because even, once the grass, once the trees are, do you know what I mean, thinking, percepting everything, the the animals, absolutely the same stuff. And we are thinking that we are the only one, the only intelligent one. It is it doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Absolutely doesn't make any sense.
Right. And we talked about this in the history of the ACIO, that the ACIO is equally concerned about the fauna, the animals, the flora, everything that exists here, because it's all alive.
For example, in ancient Egypt, just by the way, I don't want to say if it is legit, if it is not legit, if it was created in lab, I mean artificially, or if it is not. I mean if it wasn't. But COVID test, right? It was like some sort of stick put into your nose, right?
Yeah.
Try to guess what? In ancient Egypt and pyramids, the same stuff, absolutely same stuff they found. Do you believe that it is coincidence?
I've seen that picture. Yeah, so that they were doing the same thing using that nasal
yes,
test.
absolute nostrils, the nostril.
Yeah. So did they do it for the same reason, Peter, in Egypt?
You are saying it.
All right. So are you implying that this is the same group that's introducing this, or?
Not introducing. They are saying that the history repeats.
History repeats itself, but it's not the same beings. That are they?
Not the same beings, but there is let's say viruses, or how can I say it? Any sort of viruses or whatever infections were, let's say, isolated as a time ticking bomb in some sort of capsules or whatever, and try to say that you simply matched to the capsule, and it spread all over the place, and you spread, quotes and quotes, you opened the gin, you released gin from the you know, from the bottle, genie from the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
That's the stuff what happened.
There's another thing too. You said history repeats itself, and all living things, even though you incarnate and you forget a lot, sometimes it just takes a trigger where you have a recall of something, and that also could be perpetuating some of the ways that things are done. So those people that are creating or inventing things are remembering something that they might have used 5,000 years ago or 200 years ago, or
yeah.
So it's a recall. So that's how it perpetuates.
It recalls, yes, recalls.
Yeah.
Just by the way, sorry for that, but we need to, or let's say this, not like it should be or whatever. We need to, because people, we owe this to people. Why? Because it's like, okay, first things first. There are 612 divisions, but the numbering, instead of 612, it's 753. According, as we said, according to the need. According to the need, certain divisions were merged and split and merged, and it ended up like that. So this is the first note. And second note, divisions, instead of being some sort of normal logical way or whatever, they ended up being like some sort of, how we can say, groups of them, because none of them have any like solid, perfectly defined or agenda, and that's the problem. That's the reason why there are only groups of division. Yeah.
And because maybe you implying like, for whatever the need is at the time that they're collaborating and working on what has to happen, because in each generation or civilization, they've had to do different things.
Yes, generation not rather civilization than generation. That's much better definition of it.
Yeah, because they've all had their unique problems and also unique invasions of ETs. Yeah. Okay. We ready to go to the second group? Here's the second group slide. This is the divisions are responsible for the relationship with other intelligent beings and/or races of any kind. In most cases, those are bilateral, trilateral, or multilateral cooperation agreements. These agreements need to be officially sealed under allowance of some of the superior organizations. For example, or Intergalactic Council, or Council of 22, Council of 10, Council of 12, Council of 7, or Council of 5.
Yes, and sorry for interrupting you. Intergalactic Council or Universal Council, maybe I missed that. Sorry for that. Sorry for it.
All right. Make a note of that.
No, my bad.
So they are responsible for sorting alien races into 3 categories, also with subcategories. So category 1 is whether they are good cooperative, good neutral, good experimental. Second category is neutral, hypothetically cooperative, neutral, hypothetically ignorant, neutral, hypothetically experimental. And the third category is invasive for natural resources, invasive for energy, invasive for people. So when you say experimental, what does that mean?
You mean in the first category?
Yeah, in all the categories. So say good experimental.
experimental, that they want to participate in some sort of experiments, and that's the problem. It can end up, and nobody, and God then God knows how, good or bad, nobody knows. That's the problem.
Yeah.
God damns no.
And so this group is kind of looking at these specific areas in addition to other things, right? So they're
Yes, and council, and this is the problem. Originally it was council 22, but then it split it to 10 and 12, and then 12 split it to 7 and 5. That's it. Okay?
Okay.
That's one important note.
All right. And is there anything else that you want to say about this second
From this
group?
point of view, not. I think it's fine.
Okay, so we can move on to this. We'll go to the third group now. So this is division 141 to 210, or if it was in the 700s, it would be 168 to 234. The third group of divisions is in charge of relations amongst organizations that are important in the universe, megaverse, or dimension, and the Intergalactic Council, the Universal Council, and the councils of 22, 10, 12, 7, or 5. These organizations fulfill roles similar to the wide variety of organizations like the United Nations, European Union, NATO, OSCE, OECD, the Red Cross, Interpol, Europol, etc., how they do it on Earth. And then in each of them in the universe have different, more in-depth and complicated roles, which is the main role of the group of divisions, to fit and coordinate these organizations in the best way possible. So here again, this is kind of, it looks like they've been creating organizations, and then humanity has kind of incorporated those processes, and with an example of showing how some of these, groups exist, like the United Nations and was it NATO or Red Cross, Interpol, so forth.
Yeah, or European Union, for example. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
This is it. Pretty much, it's good that we are only very small. It's pretty much like we are within European Union, for example, and even I am where I am from, Slovakia, it's big state in comparison as Earth is. Let's say it is not Slovakia, I am from Slovakia, but Slovenia, it's a very small state, or Estonia, super small state, but despite that, our position, I mean Earth position in those groups are this position is pretty solid, and the fact is that we know how to get along with so many groups. We know how to get along with so many groups because we don't want to, let's say, fuel, to conflicts and whatever. We are staying out of the problems. Do you know what I mean? That's the main part of our role. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, and because there would be galactic wars all the time, and
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and so they're constantly wanted to create world wars here.
Yes.
And so that it's like a process of learning, and but there's interventions when people make mistakes. I know that you said that the ACIO said that everyone had their finger on the red button when the Ukraine and Russia incident started to before it began, right before it, or when it first started, that many nations were ready to push the button. And
yes, but this is it. So many people believe that this happened, but pretty much nobody believed that the shadow group is in between that and those kind of raiders, plunders, and rangers. And this is not like American rangers. No, rangers. I mean those, let's say, guerrilla people. Do you know what I mean? Like
guerrilla military groups. Yeah.
yes, like paramilitary. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They are crazy. You know.
Yeah.
So I am not talking about American Rangers or whoever Rangers. No, definitely not. And this is the problem. Pretty much, this is the model. Even this is the model on Earth. It is, let's say, copied from outer Earth. You know, everything is copied, and and once again, I will not watch my language, and this doesn't need to be beeped. I am pissed off that people are that naive and they want to be feeded by, let's say, lower vibration energy because they want to be, it's like this need for power, hunger for power, and it is pretty much like I want to buy something, but it's like it's pretty much like I'm once people are it is pretty much the same stuff once people are addicted to drugs. They want, and after that they get the dose. Few moments, do you know what I'm trying to say? And then after that everything faded out. Do you know what I'm trying to say? That's it.
Yeah. I mean,
it is the same, absolutely same crazy cheese. It doesn't make any sense.
I think people want to have this perfect world, but they don't know how to communicate or come to agreements on certain things, and it's not going to happen until that there's a process of learning, like the Galactics learned to not fight amongst each other. There's always going to be differences, right?
Yes.
So
yes, you are right.
Sometimes you have to. There's a certain point when you have to just stand your ground, but then there's other times where it's it's not worth fighting over. It's not something that's very important.
Yeah.
So
so from this point of view, I think we are good to go
to the next one. Yep.
Yeah.
So we're going to focus over here. This is division 211 to 250. Also, if it was in the 700 range, it would be 248, 273. The fourth group of divisions is trying to keep ACIO's operations as low profile as possible. Sometimes this is a very hard task to achieve, mostly because of the unpredictable circumstances. These could be bleed-throughs into our reality, or our reality is not properly aligned to cover the operations, especially when it comes to time traveling. It can also easily be caused by irregularities or discontinuities in our reality, very well known by the term of glitch in the matrix. And last but not least, there might be interventions from ET species where they believe that they are helping us, but instead they are doing the complete opposite.
Yeah, especially, oh no, I mean, mostly they are not doing, do you know what it's like? at that time, the last bullet point you said, it's like at that time you are really upset, but after few days or few weeks, you know, you are laughing at that because like, but I don't know that something like that can happen, you know. It's like
Well, is this sort of like how Gary got me addicted to coffee and then I got sick from having too much coffee?
pretty much,
Yeah.
yes. It's like,
Like he thought he was doing a good thing.
I really believe that she will be fine to drink so much coffee. Jesus Christ, yeah, yeah.
So anyhow, yeah, I mean, we're taking it on a lighter note, but yeah, we do realize that there have been ETs that have come in, trying
Yeah,
to.
but this is it in like 95%. They really believe that they are helping and they are not.
Well, here's a perfect example: is advanced technology, introducing advanced technology that then becomes a weapon. I don't think that. Yeah, they think that they were helping,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Huh?
That's a perfect example. I'm sure that there are a ton of others that I haven't thought of. Um,
No. I think you are very right, because that's the problem. It's like you are, let's say, you are making quotes and quotes test runs, but never ever. Test runs are not the same as uh, uh, hard usage. That means regular usage. And then they started to use the stuff, and it started to behave total unpredictable. And they are like, what in the world is happening right now? And I was like, what the heck are you start to use? And they were like, but it was tested. I was like, of
like
course it wasn't.
like you're talking about some kind of technology or some kind of chemical process that got
Not
out of
only
control,
chemical.
or
Sorry, what?
and it's anything that, like you said, because chemical combinations are sometimes very volatile, and in a controlled environment they're
Yeah,
okay, but
yeah.
then if they're brought into another environment, as you know, we
No,
don't.
yes, you are absolutely right. Absolutely right.
And they have very advanced knowledge of the elements.
Let's say yes, but sometimes it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't worth here, because it worked in their context of existence, but it absolutely doesn't make any sense in ours, right?
Right. Yeah, it's like people, in the United States, you can't just, someone comes in from another country and they're used to like creating some kind of bonfire, to burn certain things, and there are regulations like you can't do that because it spreads or whatever, but where they lived it was perfectly fine, you know.
Yeah. Or for example, you start to drive with car from US in Europe, and it's like, what the heck are you talking about? I'm driving just 80, and of course 80, but 80 it's miles in US, but it's in Europe it's 130 kilometers per hour. What the heck are you doing, man?
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's
I do.
some,
Or driving on the wrong side of the road, which would be the right side of the road in another country. Yeah.
pretty much, for example.
Yeah. So
There
yeah,
you
and then
example of I don't know, like in Europe, I mean continental Europe, versus UK, or versus Australia, here and down under, or versus what? Japan or India, whatever. Yeah, pretty much you are right. Uh-huh.
yeah. So I
Yeah,
guess those are some mild examples, but there's a wide variety of things like that that can happen that you probably
no,
know
you
about.
are absolutely right. You nailed it pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, you nailed it.
So, and so this division, the fourth group of divisions, are dealing with these. It's almost like they're putting out little fires here and there, just to make sure that things.
Here and there,
Yeah.
because pretty much, for example, like once reality is quotes in quotes not aligned, it's pretty much like I don't know what is good example. Oh, I got it. It's pretty much like you are playing back 3D movie on a huge screen on Plaza, for example, right? And
Yep.
nobody, like no one, will have 3D Oculus or 3D glasses, and people will be, oh, do you know what I mean? Like walking blindfolded. Do you know what I mean? Blindfolded, everything will be total mess.
Right. Right.
That's
So, what about when like a spacecraft crashes, and all of a sudden this group of, it looks like military of some sort, shows up, cleans it all up, and then there's no evidence of it.
cleaners. Yeah, that's
Yeah. Is that the
yeah.
ACIO?
Yes, too. Yeah.
And what group is that from? What division is that from?
No, it's not like that. It is not like division. There are multiple divisions.
Okay. And that's the one that shows up is related to whatever happened, what kind of ship it was, or
Yeah, yes, exactly.
or
As you said.
whoever's available.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. Did you want to say anything else before we go to the next slide?
From my point of view, it is fine.
Okay. All right. So this is the division 251 to 300. This is the fifth group of divisions in helping multiple international elite soldiers and units in their missions. In most cases, there are no analog or digital records about them, not only about their operations, but even about the existence of such units. We know them under the specific term Black Ops. Instead of a name, most of them use a 3-digit number as identification, which authorizes them only for certain specific types of operations. An important example operating under number 374 is the unit of Lincoln Clay, starting to uncover their operations and their purpose of why they were formed.
Do you know what? Sorry for that, but I need to say that. This will be crazy because I need to spoil this. People will be. I think people will be satisfied. What do you think? I sent already interesting stuff to you. What do you think, huh?
Yeah, some detailed information regarding the unit of Lincoln Clay, the 374 unit. And this is different from Kruger, you said.
Yes, that's true.
In what way? How do you explain that? That they're not necessarily under the Kruger
No,
program?
not let's say not under Kruger only. Let's say it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so we will have some updated information on the website regarding these divisions, more detail of the divisions, as well as regarding this group, this unit of Lincoln Clay's.
That will be
374.
crazy. That will be crazy, guys.
Yeah. So what's happening with Lincoln Clay right now? He's becoming more. He's bringing in a new team, or how is this working?
Let's say that he finally decided to release the information.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that was my initial reaction. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and you said that. Are we gonna? Did you want to talk about that today, or do you want to wait?
Oh, definitely not. That will be wow day.
Another day, we'll talk about it.
That will be wow day.
So, but this relates to up here. They're working with the multiple international elite soldiers units in their missions. So that's also including Kruger, right? And some of the
Exactly.
other
Yep. Yep.
other soldiers that are out there that we don't mention or haven't mentioned yet. And
let's say it's still confidential, you know.
yeah, so a lot of
We shouldn't mention something once it is confidential still.
right, but I think this division or the fifth group particularly is working with the super soldiers. Would you?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, as opposed to the other ones, and I guess people will see as we describe them how they're focused. So the last group was focused on ET activity on the Earth and just trying to keep things neutralized. And here, this is definitely focused on elite soldiers, and that's including Kruger and other groups, and particularly this group of Lincoln Clay's Unit 374.
That's true, exactly.
Is there anything else you want to say about this right now, Peter?
No, it's fine.
Okay, great. We're going to move on to the next slide. And here we have Division 361 to 410, or if it was in the 700 range, it was 432 to 503. So this is identified as the seventh group of divisions, and it is responsible for distributing reverse engineered technology to mainstream manufacturers in nearly all fields. They are mostly focused on health technologies, cutting edge energetic technology, and technology for higher safety, and less emissions in personal and cargo transport, and more environmental friendly materials, easier ways of recycling, etc.
Yep. What do you think? Isn't it great?
We use this picture because it seems to cover, some kind of basic information, but clearly the med beds would probably be under this category of the seventh group, and whether or not that technology is presented to the Earth yet, and openly. And also, we've talked often about free energy for travel, for electricity and basic things that people need each day, and kind of using cleaner energy. You said cargo, which the cargo transport uses and contributes a lot of pollution in the Earth. And so, and of course, advanced type of vehicles. Does it cover that as well, Peter? Like, advanced.
Believe me, everything. This covers pretty much all the stuff.
And the people that are interested in all of these advanced technologies, I mean, this is it. The seventh group.
It's fine. It's true. Exactly as you said.
Be nice to be a fly in the wall here, Peter, and just listen in and see what they have to say, and see all the different things that are being created.
As you said.
Yes, a lot of times you've brought this up. What your different types of vehicles and what is available out there. Are they the ones that, I mean, because a lot of the governments are not allowing certain things, and there has been a history of people that get the information, they have insight of some kind of technology, they try to create a patent, and then sometimes
you are right.
And then they mysteriously disappear or die from.
You are right. Mysteriously, yes.
Yeah. Now, how come they're not? Why are they not protected? Is it because it's not the right time, or the 7th Division isn't working with them, or where did they get that insight?
Because they were safely extracted to another context of existence.
Are they too advanced for our reality? So that nothing bad happened to them?
Nope.
What about people?
Exactly. You are right.
Is it because they have like a timetable of when they're going to allow certain things, or things have to play out a certain way, or what is the reason why some of these technologies are not available to everyone right now?
What?
Why is it that, we don't have, I mean, electric cars is really,
because we are not advanced enough. I mean, I don't want to say advanced enough. Ready enough. Ready yet to say.
and that's part of consciousness then.
Global consciousness, complex, context consciousness. I don't know how can I say it correctly.
Yeah. So we've been holding that back, and it's not just.
Yep.
Yeah. It's not just because we're not thinking positive, but we're trying to get everyone up to speed because there are a lot of people that aren't ready for it. But it's hurting the environment by having these archaic methods of fuel and processes of how we're doing things. The use of the sun, the use of like solar, the use of wind, and some of the hydrogen, which is, some people say it's dangerous, but it can be done in a way. I've seen someone do it in a way that does it.
It's not. You need to be smart about that. That's true. You need to be smart about that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because that's similar, like the volatility of the outcome if it's not handled correctly.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Some people have even told me that the Tesla vehicles, what Elon Musk created, they could be very combustible if they're, because of the way they're created.
Yeah.
And and we know, I mean, the electric cars existed, I think it was in the turn of the century, like in the early 1900s. So that's still old technology as well.
Of course you are right. That's true. That's true.
And maybe even before that, I don't know, but that's the last what I've heard. So.
No, you are right. You are very right. Yeah.
Peter, there's also the idea that there are elite families that and corporations who are making sure that they profit off of every little thing that we do and controlling, any type of transportation, any type of our food, our transportation, and anything that we do. So we couldn't quite break out of it. I mean, are those strongholds going to dissipate?
Of course, once we will be fully transformed to new reality.
Okay, so we just need to be a little patient and, continue to do, keep our minds focused on the right things, and it's going to come to pass.
Yeah, exactly. You are right.
Okay, so do we move on to the next slide?
From my point of view, we are good to go.
Okay, so here we are in division 411 to 480. That is also 534, 596 if we're in the 700s. The 8th group of divisions is responsible for stabilizing different portals that affect the Earth due to their proximity to us. There's a wide variety of them. Gateways to other timelines, realities, worlds, universes, dimensions, megaverses, etc. These specific divisions are keeping all of those portals separated from each other. This is a very important job because if these portals get mixed up with each other, the resulting distortion can literally delete parts of our universe and or replace it with new ones. Wow, that's talking
That's
about a big
crazy, and it already happened, and we need to make pocket capsule universe. Creative pocket capsule universe.
Yeah, how did that happen? Or did they miss one of the portals, or?
Yes, yes.
Wow. And when did that happen that you had to make I think I was talking to you then. Was it around 2017 or 2016?
Yes.
Because I mean, we just met and you were telling me about that.
17 or so.
Yeah, we were talking and you started telling me about this. I'm like, how in the world did that happen? So, did anything happen to this group? The 8th group, was somebody compromised, somebody left, or it was just an accident? Or you can't talk about it?
Yes, it's crazy.
Okay. And then when something like this happens, the galactic groups also, the different groups probably came to the ACIO to find out what was going on, right?
Yes, that's true.
So you had a lot of visitors.
Visitors, yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to say about this?
Pretty much we are fine about these portals because this is absolutely crazy. And we made shows about portals. Am I right?
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that have happened. Well, other ET groups have come in, or even humans are creating portals now through some of the quantum computers.
Yeah. Exactly.
And so that's adding another complexity to it. Are they concerned?
Not complexity. Problems. Problems.
Are they going to get shut down because of that at any point?
Believe me, everything will be perfectly aligned once we will be in new reality.
Okay.
/ context of existence.
So we're not going to be able to fix what's happened here. We're going to.
Yes.
Right.
Because this is it. Look, it is absolutely crazy. People don't believe it. Sorry, I mean, it is absolutely crazy and people don't believe it. It's like, what in the world is going on? It doesn't make any sense. How portal can, quotes in quotes, eat part of the universe? No, portal not. But once portal overlaid or whatever with another one, and it is not fixed, I mean, if it is for certain, let's say, blink, so certain small part of moment, screw it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Screw it. But once they let it, do you know what I mean, for a long time or longer period of time, it is a recipe for disaster. And it happened like 3 times. So try to guess what happened. 3 times a pocket, also called backup, also called pocket reality. Holy crap, this is crazy. This is crazy.
That you had to open up a pocket reality, or that came in?
No, Jessica. They need to create reality. They need to back travel to the time from another to another, not dimension, but to another megaverse. It is absolutely crazy what they did, and they need to create wormholes. Jeez. And it is not like they need to create, because they believed that they need to create wormholes. And this is it. Wormholes, quotes in quotes, they are not like they need to create. Wormholes, they were there, or let's say here, from the very first. People, I don't want to insult religious people if they are, Christian, or I don't know, Hebrew or Muslim or whoever, but even when God or Jahwe or Allah say, let it be, bam. Do you know what I mean? The wormholes they were here. Do you know what I mean? And that is the problem. Do you know what I mean?
Are you saying those gods created those wormholes?
I don't want to say the gods, but the intelligent entities, the intelligent beings, they created entities, they created wormholes, and those entities, they don't like us because from this point of view they say that they are very young, because being only few thousand years old, it's unfair to say in Bible or Torah or Quran. It's unfair because they are millions of years old, and in holy books, once again, I don't want to offend anybody, but it's unfair. It's unfair.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm not saying that holy books are not true. What is written in holy book, but what books? What I'm saying that the age, I mean the dates. Do you know what I mean? That the world is much older. Do you know what I mean? And that's the problem. We know it for sure. And wormholes are pretty much like the chimera, or those kind of as Hydra, once he or she, I mean the bad energy, it sucked everything and blood everything. Do you know what I mean? And that's it. It's pretty much like duality. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
So there's good and bad with the portals, or it's dangerous.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there are gatekeepers in those portals as well.
Like Kerberos, like this huge Doberman pincher, or I mean for
the hellhounds or
hellhounds, yes, but for ancient Rome people, they were Rottweilers. But Rottweiler, and I don't know if it is true, but according the legend, there was literally, he was born genetically mutant, three-headed Rottweiler. I don't know if it really occurred, if it happened, but it was like that, three-headed Rottweiler, and they were totally scared. And he was abnormally big and strong and whatever, I mean physically, and that was it, the Kerberos and whatever, so that's it.
There's that story of Remus and Romulus, the children of Mars.
Yeah,
and that's in Rome as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
but I've seen those hellhounds look like Doberman.
I'm not saying what is written in holy books that it isn't true. I am saying that the dates, the ages are how can I say it, overwritten. That everything, okay, fine, I don't have problem with that, but it was rewritten by people. They translated the holy books, all the holy books, the Torah, the Bible, the Quran. This is the main problem for me,
But it was passed on from people, so sometimes, and that was their understanding.
It was done by purpose from my point of view.
Oh, it's done on purpose what do you think the agenda was?
In order to control other people?
Control others. Yeah, that you're talking about religion.
They were not that bad, the creators, but the people, they were like, we are having this, so it is like, we have the privilege. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. And it made people feel like they were elite over others.
Pretty much.
Yeah, which creates an inequity and imbalance.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes.
Okay. So, anything else you want to say about the 8th
From
group?
this point of view, it's fine.
Okay, we're gonna go to the next one. So this is division 481 to 560, and of course, if it was in the 70s, the original amount, it would be 623 to 692. So this is the 9th group of divisions, is responsible for keeping our reality and context of existence aligned in order to avoid any sort of discontinuities, and can lead to glitches in our context of existence. When the multiple portals or wormholes are interfering with each other, this causes bleed-throughs or overlays between many realities, timelines, universes, worlds, dimensions, or megaverses. This is a phenomenon that is nearly impossible to predict the outcome of, and it is why the ACIO has to be very patient and careful with their actions. Okay, so similar to the other one, we're looking still at portals, and now we're looking at like the Mandela effect, the bleed-throughs, the overlays,
Pretty much.
and you know, what was that video game from Russia where there was those bleed-throughs in Russia, the military that came through?
You mean Escape from Tarkov?
Tarkov, yep.
Yeah.
All of that kind of stuff. This 9th group has been working on.
Pretty much.
We've had a lot of problems in this area. Why is it that here again, is this because of human tampering with the quantum computers, CERN and all that? Or is it something else?
No, it is pretty much because in Russia are so many, how can I say it? It is part of the world with the oldest, let's say, stones in the world. You can see all the stones you can see. You have all the rare metals, all the rare souls and all kind of the stuff. So it is creating very weird and unpredictable energy. Do you know what I mean? And it is affecting people.
Right.
And I'm not saying good or either good or bad. I am saying unpredictable way. Sometimes they are so good, so nice. They will give you everything they have. And then other times they are feral. You don't know what the heck is in their minds and whatever. And it is not because of them. It is, you know what I mean? It's because of this stuff.
So that's a hot spot in the world.
Yes, pretty much. Yes.
Is that probably the biggest problem right now regarding locations of involatility, or are there some other areas?
Yes.
Yeah. And I don't know if you have a kind of an idea when this is going to neutralize a bit over there.
Okay. Give me easier question.
I mean, there's some people that try to predict all this type of stuff, but I figure you either tell me you know or you don't know.
It will be very, let's say, I don't want to be precise because I will fool you and I don't want to.
But it's kind of soon that something's going to be happening.
Yeah, soon, like 1 or 2 years or so.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I think we maybe should go to another.
Yeah, we're going to move on to Division 561 to 612, and to, if it was in the 700s, it would be 702 to 753. So this is the 10th and last group of divisions. It is involved with carefully documenting all ACIO activities and initiatives They are typically known for being at the forefront of much bureaucracy and red tape politics. They are closely tied to organizations' headquarters, and these divisions are generally responsible for granting or denying approval for all critical operations, including public disclosures. You had to go through them before you could go public.
Holy crap, that was like hell. Jeez.
Okay, and I discussed.
You know.
I discuss things with you before we do certain things as well, because I don't want to get in trouble either.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I think Wingmakers? It's not good. It's not good idea to start Wingmakers right now.
Yeah, but we put that in there because people always asking about Wingmakers because they came out with disclosure years back, and many people were fascinated, and then they sort of stepped away and didn't answer all the questions. So there was a lot of things up in the air regarding them. So, and I know that I did, also insert this because they were originally part of the 15th Division, which is one of the earlier groups, or what was it, 1 or 2? Yeah, it was for the first group. And but they were just a small 2% of the total initiative of that
approximately 2 or 3 up.
Yeah,
that's
of
true.
The 15th Division. But just to let people know, because it seems like they hear the ACIO and the first thing they think of is Wingmakers, because you did not have permission to disclose earlier. Or
this
not that you didn't have permission.
This is absolutely crazy, geez. Yes,
yeah,
you are
not
right.
Not that you didn't have permission, but it wasn't your time to disclose
No,
anything.
it wasn't like I don't have permission, but it's like let's say yes, I have permission, but not, how can I say it, like not completely, and it will bring more confusion than some sort of light, let's say. Let's call it that way.
Yeah, and you would rather just do it the right way, because they are like the wisdomers. They know the right thing and the right time when things should happen. But they did allow the Wingmakers to disclose early. Maybe do you understand?
No, you are right. You are absolutely right. Yes, yes.
Was there a reason why, or it helped to open things up early?
Yes, but don't ask me why. I don't know. It's kind of weird for me.
A lot of people say it's because Al Bielik talked about them in his testimony.
Yes, I know it.
Yeah. So, and because of his experience, he had an encounter with them.
Okay.
So, aside from that, if I would go to the next slide, then it goes into Kruger. So, I think we are finished here, or did you want to?
I think it's fine. I think it's fine.
Okay, so we're gonna then return back,
because this is too I believe it was like 15, maybe 20 minutes, and it ended up like 1.5 hours. Holy crap.
Yeah, so I think we're good for today, and we covered that topic fairly well. And I think it's going to, answer quite a few questions that people have been asking us about the ACIO, and to help them to understand. I know some people felt like you were the one and only that was over the ACIO, but as you can see, there are many that you are the head of the 12th division.
Yeah.
There are many other divisions there as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So I want to say thank you for another opportunity to be on your channel, and I'm looking forward for next time. Bye bye.
Thank you, Peter, and thank you everyone for listening and sharing ideas, comments, and connecting with us. Even though you send me information, I appreciate it. And even your questions, I try to incorporate that in some of our discussions. So thanks for listening, everyone, and have a good day. Thanks for your support, and stay strong and be well.
You have been listening to the Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Marrocco. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Visit www.acio-agency.org and www.readingsbyarael.com. Post your questions and comments below. We look forward to hearing from you. Feel free to support our work. All links can be found in the description. Thank you.